Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Yvette with Yvette's Junk Journal Shop. In today's video I'm going to do a tutorial on making these little tags here, and then I also have these altered paint chips, and I'm not going to show how to make these because it's kind of the same process as the tags, but I am going to demonstrate how I made the tags. So I'll just do a quick overview here of these cards that I made. So these are paint chips that I picked up, I think at Walmart, and I just splattered the background with some distressed ink, and then I had a magazine image that I put on there. I had the little sticker and then a tag on each one, and then I backed them in coffee dyed paper on each one of these, and these are just magazine pages that I cut out and put on there. So I think they turned out really cute. And then the tags, what I did with those, that's a little bit different process. So I have on the background here is a label, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then I've layered that with some coffee dyed paper for a place to journal, a little tag and a sticker. And then on the back I did some stenciling. So I'm going to break this project down. And like I said, those paint chip cards are very similar how I made them. So what I had was a whole packet of these labels that are self-adhesive labels. And I had them, and I'm not really using them for what I bought them for. I used one or two, and then I had a whole pack left. So I've sprayed them, and I have several here that I've made different sprays that I have. I don't have a whole lot of sprays, so I just used what I had. And then I was like, well, I could make my own stickers out of them, but then what am I going to do with it? So I kind of came up with these tags. So what I did was I cut or tear, or I will cut or tear out a little journal space, and then I just glued that down. And then you'll see in the background here on my table, I put down this white cardstock, and these were dividers that I bought. As you can see, there's 3 holes in there, and that's what I used to cut down the tag. So these labels measure 2 inch by 4 inch, and I cut the tags out of the cardstock. I cut those down 2.5 by 4.5, so they have the little edge all the way around them. So I just put down a little journaling spot, and then I put my sticker on there. And these are just all from my stash. I'm not exactly sure where I got them, but I just put the sticker on, and then I had these little labels. They came in a kit, and I'm not sure where I got that. I think it's Tsunami Rose, but don't quote me on that. I had them in my stash for a while, and I'm just going to ink this up a little bit here just to give it a little definition, and then use my glue, and I'm using Fabri-Tac. I use that on most of my projects because I find it's one glue that sticks to most things. And then I just put that on there at the bottom, kind of line it up how I want it. And then the journal card, what I did with that was I kind of inked it up. I'm using on this one walnut stain, the Tim Holtz distressed ink. I kind of differ, I use the same brush between the walnut stain and the vintage photo, so I kind of do both with the same thing. And then I just kind of went like this so that it's not as white. I didn't want as much white showing. You definitely could show more white if you wanted to. And then I peel that off of there. Insta sticker. And I just kind of eyeball it. I'm not really a measuring person, so just kind of eyeball it. And then I round it off the corners. And when I do that, of course, you have to fix up the edges there. Then I just cut off to make it into a tag. So for those of you who might be new to this, you can just take and cut that off, and then if you turn it over and hold it in the corner, that gives you the same angle on your tag. So I get people on my channel who have been paper crafters for a long time, and I also get new people. So I like to explain the little things that sometimes are taken for granted that people understand. I didn't know when I started, so when I found that trick, I was like, wow, that's a time saver. So I just kind of went along and, you know, I put a little bit more ink on the edges, just kind of how I want it to kind of blend in, but not really a whole lot on there. And then anybody who's watched my channel for a while, you know that I like to doodle. So I just kind of went down and put some stitches in here and there on the tag to kind of make it look like it'd been stitched. I don't know if you can hear my grandson in the background, but he's having a good time, whatever he's doing. So then I just on the back did a little bit of inking around the edge, just to give it uniformity to the front. And then I just took a stencil, and really any stencil will do. I don't really even line up the pattern. I just kind of, this has a little bit of a lining up because it's got a place on there that's kind of flat. So kind of like to line that up if I can. There we go. Put that back on there so that I don't mess up my ink. And then on the back, I just kind of did a little bit of messy stitching, I call this, with my pen. Just kind of, you got to have a nervous hand for this. And just kind of go along several times so it looks like messy stitching on there. And then on the front, I like to do a little bit of something around the journal area. So sometimes I'll just do a flat stitch. Sometimes I do like little dots on there. So as you can see there. Then we're going to punch a hole in this. I have a crocodile. You could use just a regular hole punch, depending on the size grommet that you have, or eyelet, whatever these things are. Put that in there. And then for the top part of the tag, just to give it a little bit of interest, I put a piece of lace in there, and then I just pulled that up. You want to straighten it out a little bit. Kind of has a mind of its own, so I let it do its thing. And then to tie that on, I could just tie it, but sometimes that gives it a little bit of a switch out my scissors here, gives you a little bit of, what was I trying to say? Oh, I could tie it, yeah, but then it kind of like sticks out funny, and I want them to stick up. So what I did was just tied this around a couple times and then tied it off. And I like to leave my strings on there kind of messy like, just so that it gives it a little more character. And then you can kind of pull down on the strings and pull up on the lace to kind of cinch that in place. And then you could tie this in a bow, but I just like to cut that end like that. And there we have our tag. I think they're so pretty, and I like the little bit of splattered background. I've been playing a little bit more in my craft room with my spray inks. I only have like maybe 3 or 4 colors, but I do enjoy working with them. It's been a lot of fun. So there are the tags, and then I'll bring back in like I said, the paint chips, I do have them here. So yeah, I got those at Walmart. And then I just took those and sprayed them up with the ink. And then after I did that, I put the image on there, put the sticker on and the label, and then I covered them in coffee dyed paper and rounded off the corners. So these I haven't really done a lot of doodling on. I just felt like they were kind of a little bit more busy with the images and stuff on there. So I didn't do too much to those. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm trying to do a little bit more tutorials on my channel as I can. And check out all the things in my shop, Yvette's Junk Journal shop on Ko-fi. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks so much for watching.